down. It's all about the people and the engines you can count on to turn it around. When you need them the most, they'll always be there.
Dark and grey, we'll be there to help you bring the sunshine. On the days when the rain is heavy, we'll be there to keep you nice and dry. Even if we ride on different rails, or drive on roads, or hoist our sails, no matter where you are, we'll always be there. We'll always be there. We'll always be there. Forever on the rails we ride. Forever steaming by your side. Forever steaming by your side. Even on the days when we disagree, we ground ourselves in one simple fact. No matter what we run on, or what provides us power, we all run on the same track.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm your host, Sir Stephen, top of that, the bird at your service. Now we're going to be talking about what to do, right? A lot of you are a little bit confused of where to go, what to do this Christmas. I advise you to keep away from the Norfolk Railway as possible because they're too pricey, right? Price has a lot of effort to do, and a lot of prices have gone up enormously for the Norfolk Railway, and they can't tell from the right from the wrongs at the moment. The management has done a lot of damage throughout the time period, and through a little bit of this and a little bit of that, they confused a lot of people. They made mistakes, they made slip-ups, they made done everything under the book, but the biggest slip-up will always be what they've done previously, which we won't go into details with, which you can backtrack all of this in all the podcasts available. But I want you to have a fresh mind, fresh head, to realise Norfolk Railway, no go. Right? I'm telling you because I want you to save money this Christmas. Your family comes first, and all prime eyesight, as you know, family comes first before money spending, right? When I was speaking to Duck this morning, I said to him, and he also stated to me, he said, let them fall, because if they fall, we can get back in and we correct the problem that's there, that's buried under the radar from the rest of you, which you already know from Duck's story exactly, and one of my podcasts already available, and it's all there in bloody black and white. You can't argue, right? So with Edward, Henry, Gordon, James, and Percy, and Toby, they've done their job to a very high level, to T level degree. But what I'm stating to you is stay away from the Norfolk Railway. I know a lot of you are ignoring the situation and thinking, oh, he's hokey pokey, you get the drill. And I said, don't bother because it's all there in black and white. Right? People that know what to do in this situation. The Norfolk Railway is a complicated matter right now because they're exploding from the inside. I'm not inside of there. So right now they are damaging themselves so rapidly, the prices are too high for everybody. We know that if we go on this Christmas, the money will be too high, even for 4 people, for 8 people, and it doesn't add up. And all they're spending is thousands of pounds for that type of event or throughout the whole year, and it just doesn't add up anymore, right? So what do you do this Christmas? Well, the best thing is to leave them alone because in the day they lost their respect, they lost their guaranteed, they booted out everyone else before, and it's gone forward and forward and forward, and all you're seeing is the jeopardised problem that they created themselves. And there's a damage that you can't repair at the moment because I'm not on a platform to deal with the bloody damn job. You know, when I'm on there, or if I was back on there, I will correct that problem like an instant record. Why? Because what they've done is made the ultimate choice for the whole public to say they don't give a shit. Basically, they're not telling you it. Their body language speaks for itself. Their tone of language, their photographs on Facebook, which I can, I will say for the record, they don't give a damn in the end. They tell you, oh, they've got this and they got that. You know how it goes. Right, they all booking and they say Black Friday offer, Norfolk Lights, blah blah blah, going down 25% on standard tickets. Don't go it because it's still expensive as a whole. So, what they're trying to tell you is that come. I say, do not go. You know what I mean? You have an option, you have a choice. Right? You're not their bloody pawns, as they say correctly. Right? They're using you to get to the money factor. It's not just about the respect that they want on a plate. This is 55 minutes ago they said this, and they said, look, right, here we go. And I'm trying to establish to you, keep your money in your pocket because you might end up spending it on something you do need rather than a want. It's a word to express it, right? So the needs and the wants are very important for everybody. It's a two-way category. The Norfolk Railways needs are not the needs that you think you need. You know what I mean? It's like saying, oh, the Norfolk Railway needs this. Well, they're not going to get that need because they screwed up. Right? So that's mostly a want for them. So when you say, oh, we got this money in your pocket, as they say, it doesn't matter if it's on your debit card, your telephone number, or anywhere where you live. And we all knew from day one that you're going to end up with saying what to do this Christmas. I said, you want to know the better way? Keep your money in your pocket. Spend it on something you do need, than a want. When there's an attraction of the year, Norfolk Railways lost that reputation long time ago, and it's basically screwed up the whole bloody department of theirs, and the management can't get out of it because they screwed it up for you. They screwed it up for everybody else. It's not just about one individual. 2, 3, 4, it goes 8 billion people. Right? You've got to think about 8 billion people know about it. Right? So they say, don't go there because you're just losing money. Right? If you had that type of money in your pocket, don't have that too much money in your pocket. Because there's a lot of people out there that want to do something, criminality, if you will, and say we will steal this money because they got a lot of it in their pocket, for example. Keep it on your debit card, yes. But the thing is, the debit card is not going to set you free. All you're doing is spending it so bloody rapidly for 5-mile journey. I said you could do better with a 10 or 15 or 20-mile journey because the money is a value. The value of money is where it counts. So what do? You could go to Orsted in Norwich. You could go to Alsburg West in Great Yarmouth and Bluffs Cove area, obviously. And then you could go to Knapford and go somewhere else and enjoy it with your friends, obviously, and family and all of that. Think of the actual positive you will do if you go the opposite direction. When I stated it to Duck this morning, and my friends and my family, they all considered not to go to the Norfolk Railways. Why? Too pricey. Why? The prices will always beat the obvious. Why? When you go everywhere else, price does matter. But you don't want it too high, you don't want it too low, you want it something smack in the middle. But like I said, when you got a 5 mile trip, what's the point of paying a 10 mile trip for the 200 quid? Why, it's like I stated before about the King's Cross to their area is £200. It's not a joke. It's doubled now because it's £400. You see what I mean? Do your calculation and you will work out I'm telling the truth because I've been honest with you. When you go from King's Cross to our area, you're ending up paying the right value of money and you still have your food and water on top. That's £200 to £400. Why? Because the money's gone up, you see. So you can't blame me for that. I'm just being honest. And when you're being honest, you actually understand King's Cross to the whole area or the coastal run area. Bang! It's nearly £200 to £400, and you have your money's worth and your food and your drink for a longer distance and a good value of money. When it's a 5 mile radius, no go. They're getting cocky. That's why the Norfolk Railway loses out. So what to do? What you got? You know, the value of money could be spent on your family and your friends, and you get a better value. In the end of the day, when you got the Norfolk Railway just standing there, they're just losing money because they lost respect for the value of money on the process that you got to realise it's a company, not an organisation. That's the fact. When you split it into two categories, needs and wants, what is better? Right, let's say a parent or a guardian, as example, and your children, right? Needs and wants, right? Let's say a child says, I want a PlayStation for Christmas, as example. PlayStation 5 or 6, whatever you want to name it, or Xbox or whatever, and they say, oh, it costs 300 quid. That 300 quid is what the Norfolk Railway is asking for, right? So that's £300, that's what they're asking for officially, just for what they want, right? Your needs are better than their wants right now because you're looking at the prices, the distance, and your children, but at the same time you're looking at what your kids really need. It's not about wants. When you buy them clothes, the day they're born, you raise them in a way you were made to brought them up for. Right? So I know every kid on the planet that knows exactly what is unfolding, even the adults. So I'm not going to argue about needs and wants because you've got to work out what's the better value in the needs department, not the wanting department. The Norfolk Railway always sees themselves as the wanting job because they're not realising the value of money. They're asking for could be your children's Christmas present. Right, when we talk about Christmas in the longer shot, the better value of money, when they want something they want for Christmas, as example, because I know your children's minds are like saying, I want this for Christmas, or I want that for Christmas. And they say it's a wanting, not a needy job, but it's actually telling you they need this for Christmas. Right? So when you think about your money in your pocket and you think you're rich and you can do everything you want on a plate, I said, think about your kids first because they always ask for what they need for Christmas. Right? It's not easy as you get older, I get that. But when you talk about the Christmases, when you talk about the Norfolk Railway as their wants, You're paying nearly £300 just for a bloody 5 mile trip and food and water, and that doesn't add up. It's the distance, the value of travel. That makes the difference from right from wrong. Right, so when you're dealing with a 5 mile trip, right, you need to understand the value of it because it's a value of the actual outcome of why the third generation, which I may add, right, the third generation real life event which is kicking off since I rise, so does steam. Now everybody's saying, why is it costing us money? And then they ask the steam team to say, look, okay, we are fighting, but we're fighting for a good reason. It's a needy for everybody else. 8 billion people know that the steam team is fighting back because the diesel team is falling. Always has been, always shall be. But when we talk about needs and wants, Norfolk Railway wants. But they're not thinking up here with using common sense to realise where's the value of money, where's the value of interest, what's the actual outcome, what's the actual forward. I said, did you ever get the reason why we go forward without having to go backwards? The problem is, with the Norfolk Railway already made their mistakes and slip-ups, my ad, without no mentioning no names, you gotta realise they slipped up, they want, and I said, look, families come first, which is true, this is where the needy department comes in, and say, look, when you think of one day attraction, you gotta realise, okay, they're getting cocky this Christmas. Let's see what they do for value for money. All they do is don't think the obvious before they jump off the cliff. Why all the management, all the bloody porters, all the guards should realise from right from wrong here. Right? I don't need to go through this for the next 2 generations where the whole bloody lot goes crumbling over because of the one mistake you made, Norfolk Railway, because you never thought about why did we boot all of these people out in the first place, as example, which is why I said, because it was your want. It wasn't that the previous generations, want. It was their need to stay on the premises at the time because their respect is more honest and caring and well respected. Yes, of course, the diesel team has their problems. The steam team is trying to get it all back in check. Why? Because we have to rise to fix all these things up. I said it's all realistic, it's all real life, it's no joke, it's no dishonesty, there's no nothing. And people cannot fight back because the Norfolk Railway sees your bloody future like anything, which they cannot because they all screwed up. So when it comes down to your needs and wants, they're 2 separate categories. So when they want certain things, they're begging on their knees trying to tell you. They're not doing it in front of your face where you can actually see their body language and their supporting guards and all of that. I've been honest with you because I'm showing my face. Right? I'm not going to bullshit with no one. Right, I'm telling you now, stay away from the Norfolk Railway because you're going to get they are too pricey. Number one, they always think about the highest price to get you in and get you out. Basically, that's all they care about, in and out, with their food and water, with your food and water. And that doesn't always calculate right, but because the distance is what they think. Christmas is not, it's a time for jolly. Don't get me wrong. But you want a joyful Christmas. You don't want to be. Let me put this in perspective for you. Right? Let's just say your family's got £400 in their pockets, right? The first thing is your kids want something for Christmas. Initially, right? And they always ask for the biggest object or smallest object they need, but for Christmas. Right? It could be a Nintendo Switch, it could be an Xbox, it could be anything like that. Very simplified. But the Norfolk Railway is going to take all of that away from you because you spent too much. Right, when that all goes click, 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 it adds up. So when the North Norfolk Railway cries wolf, they cannot overcome that because they don't realise what is unfolding to a point where they screwed it up in the first place for you all. You know, they boot out us, they boot this out, they've done that, they got the company in play, they got that, and they screw it up for everybody else. And then you see the prices on the internet, you see the prices on the leaflet, and they don't even give a damn about you. You know, if you can't see the realistic, if you don't see them face to face, oh, of course they moan, of course they groan, because the management lied. They are deceitful and dishonest. When you got that foundation, you're doomed to fail. When I'm not lying to you, I've been honest with you because I'm outside the building and I can tell exactly how they think. So what do you do this Christmas? Always keep your children on the top of the list, not the attraction. Right, so you boot out the North Norfolk Railway as part of the, so it's out of your hairball, basically. Then you've got to think about your children and what they want for Christmas. That's the value of money and respect for your money because the money is the catch. Right, when it comes down to your Christmas bonuses this year or what money you're getting this Christmas, the first thing is what your children want for Christmas as a needy, not a wanty. This is where I learnt the value of money so hard, but it took me longer, but I learnt the value of money by understanding the principles of understanding why. Just ask yourself a question. I'm going to make it easier and simplified for you. North Norfolk Railway will not give you what you need because they screwed it up. So look the way it's played out for you. Let it play out as you would. Keep away from the premises. Don't go on it. Don't do nothing. Just leave them alone. Just let it burn. Let them burn out what they want to burn out. Because in the day, you will find out I was telling you the truth because you never intervened. Right, the more people that intervene and say, oh, I love this, I like this, and I did that, I did that. Right, the reviews will come in and there will be more dishonest people going saying these things just to get you drawn in. I said it's not about that. It's respect. The value of respect takes a long time to earn. It's not just a one-day issue where people say what to do. Are you scared? Are you in the predicament where you can't get out of this situation? I said the North Norfolk Railway will not hesitate to be bullies, if you will. Big bullies. We're not talking about children bullies. We're talking about adult bullies. People that don't respect other people for what they're doing, what they're trying to accomplish for you, what they're gaining from you. Right, there's a lot of staff on the North Norfolk Railway's payroll that they don't know what the value of respect is. They just don't really understand what to do in this predicament because they don't think straight, they don't be honest with you, they're just dishonesty. There's a lot of dishonesty going on that station. And usually you would fight for everything that people do need, right? The steam team is doing it from the outside, not the inside. So when you want the value of money all the time, like you put the children's presents first. Why? Because they are either a little bit expensive, but on the same money length, right? There could be one day when your children want this for Christmas, or they want this for Christmas, right? It's a needy, but it's not a full-fledged want because they're asking you politely, if you will. Sometimes they have to behave to get it, right? What to do this time round for Christmas 2024 onwards, where people don't have to go on the North Norfolk Railway as their attraction. They think, oh, spend £300 there, £300 there. That's a compartment of 8 people. And I said, look, they don't think on their toes, do they? So when they look forward and they look back, people that appreciated you in the past, like myself and my former steam team of second gen, and then you got the third gen just rising up with me, poof, it gets into reality of it all. So then what happens when the third gen steam team rises? So does the railway engines, obviously the actual engines, right? On a global note, it's a full rack blowout steam, right? People know it, but they are too scared to face the North Norfolk Railway and say, you just booted up someone that needs your help. It's like I need the North Norfolk Railway's help, but they're not going to give it to me because they think, oh, boom, 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 boom. Right? They're thinking it's not the same way. Right? So we have to leave them alone to let them work it out for themselves. Sometimes I can offer some facts or a lot of the facts that are proven to be right because my DNA code actually overrides their payments, what they spend on the regular notes. Right? When the Norfolk Railway realises why did they screw up? Why? Because they tend to say, oh, right, we're going to spend that £300. That £300 could be your child's Christmas present. Think about it. When I say £300, that could be they're going to their console, their clothing, and a game for their console. So think about it. That's the first thing that a child would need, right? Just to keep their brains active and their minds focused, right? As they get older, you tend to, they will ask for smaller stuff. But in the longer note, you're ending up with one fuel that I said, look, if you go to the North Norfolk Railway, you can spend your children's Christmas present out the window. Right? Because you have to work out the value of money at the same time, saying what to do for Christmas in the longer note. You're not going to win with the North Norfolk Railway because they screwed up. Right? At the end of the day, you're going to say stumped. Why? The North Norfolk Railway has a lot to offer, but they really are expensive this time of year, which you can't afford for every family member. But if you think of all adding it all up equals 300 quid, because you're basically saying food, water, and the travel expense. I said the travel expenses. If that's £300, you're paying for King's Cross all the way to Hull. That's one way of putting it. And then people get up here and realise, shit, he's right. Well, what's the point? If you're not going to listen to me, you're going to end up finding out from someone else because their calculations will add up. £300 is like King's Cross all the way to Hull. And I advise you, if you're going to go down that route and then say, I spent £300 on the North Norfolk Railway, don't bother because all you're doing is basically the complete opposite of what should have followed naturally and say, yeah, well, he's right. You know, when you do want to do this Christmas, I said think the needs and the wants, two separate categories. And you've got to work out your family, your kids, your family, they come first. But you don't bung it all your money all in one bucket and go to the North Norfolk Railway and say we spend it, we spent that. Do you know what? That will just all you doing, the porters and the guards will be monitoring you and they are like bloody hawk stalks. I said that's stalking in some way. But they also taking the piss. Because they think it's our money coming in now. Ding, ding, ding. That's all they care about. They don't think of the people that got booted out, set it up for the wrong reasons, and they could have had more respect. Don't get me wrong. The wrong people were let in on the North Norfolk Railway at the wrong time and the wrong place, which makes them look bad when they weren't. So the second generation and all of that, going back to them, it's a similar story set up. The only difference is they never fucked up. So when the North Norfolk Railway is saying, oh, we do this for £300, we do this for £300, but then when you think about it, when you look at their prices, it doesn't add up, does it? It used to be a first class, second class, and third class. Think about it. It adds up. So when you want something, you know, even Greater Anglia did all of this, but they done it on a cheaper note. So work around it. When you talk about a 5 mile route, that's where the rip-off is. The rip-off is on the North Norfolk Railway because they ripped you off. When you're a child or you're a young kid or young teenager, if you would like to call it correctly, then they want something they need, which is true. They will ask for what they want for Christmas, and they will basically, you will end up thinking, right, we got about £600 for, let's say, £300, or let's say that much, and then you got to compromise on what's more important, your kid's happiness or the travel on the North Norfolk Railway. There's two things there. One will actually waste your money, and the other one will make your child happy, or a young adult or teenager, I would say it this way. And it all adds up. So what to do this Christmas? It's about the value of money, yes. Respect, yes. Where's the honesty on the North Norfolk Railway's part? They don't give it. So when they're all showing their faces on Facebook, for example, and I said, yeah, how many times are they going to cough up dough? I said they don't know what they got until they see it, right? My great auntie Lily, as example, my great auntie Lily, who I know quite well, I said her Patronus is a doe, a female dare. Secrets are revealing in time, but little pieces come in time. So work it out. So if my great auntie Lily's Patronus is a doe, work it out. You see, my family is only around because we are blood. Right? We protect the North Norfolk Railway for what it was, not what it is now. And this is why it destroyed it for the whole community. 8 billion people have wanted to sue the North Norfolk Railway. And guess how much money they will lose? A hell of a lot more. £8 billion would have come back to me because I'm the Hatt family member of the family. So work around it. When it's all in truth, you can't deny it when it's unfolded in front of you. The last time we had this problem, you lost 30 years. Within that 30 years, the steam team had provided you with this, and this, as it used to be, before they got all booted out. And then you added me on the top. Why? Let me just give you a hint up on this one. When my grandfather set this up in motion to make sure the North Norfolk Railway failed at the end. That's why. They failed. They didn't deliver. All they done was want your money. So when you want the needs and the wants, you put your family first and what they need for Christmas. And it's not always about the attraction of the year. Thank you very much. In every angle,